my Discord, which the link's in below, I ran a poll asking what day works best for people, and there's not a lot of people on the server, but this did win with the most votes. So I'm going to see how it goes and go from there. I have been working on the Stillhet. The Stillhet is just the code name for a 28 millimeter, that's the scale, 3D printable spaceship. Here's what it is. I'm going to go straight into the work this time. Since you've last seen it, some adjustments have been made. I'm still working on getting these adjusted as well. Hello, Felonious E4M and Shergal. With, yes, there are 3 watchers. This is all very much in progress. Actually, I kind of like those much thicker. And I'm going to change how they rotate. Originally, I was going to rotate at this pivot point here, which is a lot simpler to do. Tim, I don't know. I like Felonious better. But I kind of like the idea of shortening these and having them spin without spinning the entire thing. I have to think on it. Maybe even put them up here or something. This is the Stillhet. This is a very early in progress model, but it does the job. Gotta just make sure there's no collisions. There's a little collision there. You know what I'm doing. I'm actually making sure that you can spin it a very particular direction for a scene. I want that scene in the little minis that I'm working on later. The Stillhet, which is again code name, is going to be this monstrosity of a ship right now. It's about what are its dimensions? You know, I don't know the dimensions. Let's make a cube real quick. I know I could just join all the meshes to know, but what's the fun in that? So I'm going to include the nacelles, the nacelles. We'll include the very end of that engine cone. And all of this will be printable in standard FDM printer, which that's the cheap printers that are available. I'm going to try to go for, you need like, I'm hoping I can make it to where a Bamboo A1 Mini. Spinny clicky. Is this a fidget ship? Sure. Sure, girl. Glad to have you both. But this is going to be 50.6 centimeters long, which I'm always bad with math when it comes to imperial units. That's like, what, 19 inches? I'm going to go with 19 inches. Probably make a bit more than that. And it's 86.6 centimeters long, which that's like, I don't know, 32 something. And 27.5 centimeters tall, which I don't know that one. I'm just going to, like, just shy of 22. Oh, 22 feet. My bad. 2 feet. Oh. Looks a bit blocky after that change. Yeah, well, you get it. It's a big old ship. And it's all going to be playable and has these little decks that are being planned out. But this stream is actually with a purpose in mind. Is it? I thought. Let me do the math here. Oh, it's 30.48 centimeters, but okay. That's good enough. That is close enough, actually. It internally bothers me that this isn't like here, but I have to put it there for the, it's going to be a mismatch of the internal bulkhead and the external bulkhead. That might be even noticeable to people. And I don't really have space to, if I put it, this would be ideal to get it fit there. You've been Shergalized, obviously. and then move this is what we're actually going to be working on. I believe we picked Sunray. What's the title of the stream? I don't even remember. Yeah, Sunray. Which is also nowhere near done. But can I fit, and if I move this there, can I fit in this adjusted space? If this fits, I'll be so happy. Oh my. This is a very tight fit. But it does fit. Man, do I like that better. Internally, it makes more sense for this to be that is so tight. Probably need some kind of like computer assistance to get to that, close. I actually don't really know how good their computers are in that universe. If someone could tell me if they have those kind of navigation systems. I don't know if they even show. I think there's actually a scene where they even are supposed to be showing them using the controls, but they were supposed to digitally put in. Looks good at that size. Yeah. No room for solar cells now. There are going to be solar cells, in this space. I'm going to explain that. It's going to be very tight. We are so, this is just jam-packed in at this point. In fact, we can go a little lower, which means we can go a little higher on this one. There we go. This feels pretty good to me. It may seem very strange to have this part of the engine thing. Goo is hard to model. What are we talking about goo for? Though is a critical element of printing. I don't quite understand what you're saying, but I'm glad to have you. And I'm glad that you're talking. That's all I ever needed. Was constant and unending validation. We're going to reduce the size. This is such an interesting design, but I'm going to go. I don't need all of this detail right now. In fact, I over-designed that. Because I should be doing it this way for testing. It's better because we can play with the curves when we do it this way. We can always decimate later. Typo. Oh. You guys aren't allowed to typo in my server. But evidently, we're now on a server. I'm going to drop the fin because it just looks a little too big for the ship now. Because I need to make sure it feels right. I actually really like the idea of it almost being flattened here. AB negative, got it. And that's all. This is all the stream is. It's just playing with this particular model and feeling it out, getting the idea of what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to be working some more on this off stream, so there isn't just progress on stream. Because like I think last time we were here, It was without this being done at all. Kate Saber! Hello there, it's good to see you. You look like Superman. Are you Superman? You look like you'll be Superman. To me. Whenever someone says hey, 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 I have to do it like it's almost like a song in my head. Hey, hey, hey. I regret doing the bump in as a separate. It makes the topology strange. I should have done it slightly differently. You're just in time to watch. This is the Stillhet, the prototype ship, and we're working on the Sunray today. This thing's big. Everything's being blocked out. Oh, and here's the decks. I forgot. Look at all these fun places. There's an engine room. There's a workshop. There's a garage. I'm a little short and stout for Superman. Well, Superman. You could be instead of Superman, you'd be Superman. And there's a medical bay here and some cabins, 2 ports to. There's actually 2 docks, even though it's unusual. I don't think they use the docks very much. And then we have this little area, some galley and refreshers. That's a water closet, and then 2 more of these lovely little places to enjoy your time up on the vessel. 2 cabins, 2 bigger cabins actually. In fact, I probably will get rid of this space of the cabin and use it as just like, because it's really supposed to represent the grid forge. Grid forge is a system that lets you hot swap out floors, and so I love the sketch out. Very high tech. It feels like I'm trying to explain the space to someone that's like, oh, it reminds me of my time making like house plans, and then people were like, can we adjust this and this, and it would take me hours of my life just for them to play with what their future is. How rude of them. And this little box here is representing the space. It's the minimum for, it's actually not the minimum. It's the minimum for, I'm going to put it on outside. For Grid Forge, what it needs to be able to be usable. And there you go. That's the real minimum because of the walls that have to be printed around it. All right. Now we come to the boring part where I just kind of sit here and pretend to be useful. I think it's like that, right? There is this is the part that's, I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Haven't figured it out just yet. Ah, this is off center. That's why everything feels so weird. It's off by a little bit. We'll set this to a weird color. Yes, the switchblade pop-out wings. The second shape? I don't know what you're talking about. There is no second shape. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's never been a second shape even. So whatever you're saying makes no sense to me. This is the shuttle of the giant bigger ship, and I'll gladly explain it in just one moment more. This is an itty bitty shuttle. For this big old spaceship. It's designed inspired by a Western show, a Western science fiction show that's been long over, but it's shiny, and that's all I got. And this is the shuttle that goes on the, it doesn't actually go here on the original ship, but I need to change something out here just to make an exact copy. That'll be boring. And all this is a the pop-out wing shape. We're going with, I'm trying to not look at a reference right now because I don't want to be an exact, I want to have some, whenever you design it on your own, it kind of takes on a different life. So in my mind, this is becoming its own kind of like thing. I think I have to make the walls slightly bigger here. It's not about width, it's about, what is the problem here? We generally try to avoid having lines just be used for no reason, because it creates these weird bumps. And it's creating one now. That lid looks like a computer mouse. It does, Felonius, you're right. I think I have to use a little bit of ADR here. Yeah. Don't love using that, but it's going to have to do. Let's see if the computer properly resolves that later. No, that looks pretty bad. I'd say that looks pretty bad. So I think we need to just adjust a few parameters. There we go. This still feels like a mouse pad. But it's my mouse pad. And I think having the extend this far is actually ruining the feel. It's ruining the vibes, man. Because what we're trying to create here, this is not supporting that. This is supporting a different shape. We want to be able to hide some fins. That's all this, that's the job of this. And that's all this stream is. I want to thank people for taking the time to look at this. And I hope everyone had a lovely Friday. Today, in Second Dynasty news, Albin has left the company, which is the company I work for Second Dynasty a lot, so it's a pretty big deal to us. It's the first time I remember anyone ever leaving. I didn't know that was an option. The profile makes me think of a Looney Tunes cartoon. If the ship is Foghorn Leghorn, the show looks like the chicken hawk. I know you mean well, and you're also correct. This does look a little Foghorn. This looks a little Looney Tunesy because it's a block out. I really need to somehow figure out how to get I really want to keep this fin. I think I have to solve a different way than I've wanted to. I think I have to go down and up. You are thinking Eridani. Yes. Anyone who doesn't know that joke, it's Eridani is a fake name of a company in the Second Dynasty universe that kind of just does everything the worst. They're like the worst manufacturer you could possibly pick. The people only pick them because they were too cheap to pick anyone else. Or they weren't willing to pay the price for anyone else. That does work for me. I think that feels right. What do you think? That's gonna... It's a little wonky. I think I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with what I just did. No, not true. As a reminder, this is a PG stream. I'm a PG kind of person. Though, then again, there was this. I remember there was something Madagascar where they have the lion. Is his name just Leo? Why is Leo such a common lion? I know that Leo means lion, but I wonder why it's so common. And they're running on the beach, and the zebra character says, like, it starts to running away from the lion, and then he says, and it's a kids movie, so then be careful. And he just says, like, sugar, honey, iced, and it's you can tea, which is just spelling out a curse word. And I thought that's such a weird choice for a kids movie. I've never forgotten it. Shouldn't have said that on stream. I do apologize. I don't intend to even intentionally curse like that. I'm planning out the internals to make the thing make sense. We won't get started on Eufen. Yes, there's so many of them. I don't know why. Why is English filled with them? And the purpose of this is to act as just a Boolean. Because there's certain times a Boolean is just helpful. And the Boolean will go into it'll go into both objects. Because we know this space is safe, we can cut into it. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good approach already. I gotta make sure what can we fill in this space? What's the rule here? We have to go like this. Ooh. I think this is safe here. We'll make this the pivot point. And then we're just doing a fake for now. We would give more tolerance than this. And look what we got. We have... Oh. We have something horrifyingly ugly. What fun! I forgot this, we can go out to about right here. Because you need something that works for... And we actually have to delete these. I should have planned that out better. It's going to be a rotating sweeping leg design. So this actually should work. We don't have to worry about the exact, we just need to make sure we have... Oh, that should avoid collisions. And now we have space. See? There we go. We have space. I'm happy. I mean, they're hideous, but they do the job they're supposed to be doing. In fact, we can even adjust the Boolean. Because you actually want to create some pressure when they... Hi ho! Whenever we say hi to someone next door, make sure you've never seen them before. Because we don't say hi to people that we know. To people we've already met, we say hi ho. Hello, Gamer Groth. Sorry, Gamer Grothy. You get it. You get a horrible song. Thank you. Oh, I love that I accidentally made that mistake. That was from, there was one of those, Whose Line Is It Anyway style shows where they had to make up a musical on the spot. And that was one of the songs that they sang. Trying to make sense of, they were trying to get to that point. Yeah, it's been a while, but I've met you before. These wings are so small. They make me laugh. Remember that improv is only half an improvement. Improvement is an Aridani Corporation special that is like cement, but you just gotta pretend it's there. Oh, I meant to tell people. I swear I have other shirt than this. I put this shirt on just for the stream 2 days ago, and I was like, I only wore it for an hour. Yeah, bumblebee wings. These are definitely bumblebee wings. Is there a way to make that better? Yes. We can make them bigger. But it's just limited how much bigger they can get. So technically that's the biggest we could go. And it doesn't really, does that feel any better? I mean, special today. John Game 3D print bed special on sale for only 3 more days. I don't think you can even buy that. I think that's unpurchasable. I think. These wings are just so sad in that they can't be this small. They can't be. They just can't be. We've already used up the space available this way. 40% off is free is still better than free. They're only there for stability. But, I mean, look at them. Deploy the wings. We gotta change this a little bit. So I don't have access to this area, but I do have access to this one. Oop, we have a collision there too. I gotta just do a very fast bevel there. Are we still good? Yeah, we are still good. We're not going to collide. Yep, there's a teeny tiny little radius in there. They're in the... They just feel wrong. These feel better. This still looks ridiculous. I'll be honest. Looks so ridiculous. I think they're better. This feels better. Moving it here. Feels so wrong. I don't want to be right. What? No idea what you're saying or talking about, but we're gonna go with it. And we're gonna move this boolean to like here. There. Oh, we can't go here because of so I can't have this space. You see where the cut is? This little cut is bothersome. That's the farthest I can go out that way. I want to thank you for coming to the stream just to watch me do this. To anyone that showed up, anyone watching later, you have extreme amounts of patience. It is not one of John's creations. It was not at least a little ridiculous. Oh, that's the right, Goober Grouthy. Don't know why I added Goober, but we'll go with it. There, now we have the sails. I think them landing here makes more sense too. And that lets us move this forward a little bit, which I think helps the shape. Just a wee bit odd. But there's the ship and it goes zoom! And then it flies away. Wait a second. Why was I so worried about space? We have You can deploy. You can deploy the wings. This is excellent. So my niece just put her new phone in the bathtub. I hope it still works in a few minutes. I'm sorry to hear that, Kata Saber. Um, Excellent, but not about the phone thing. I'm sorry. How old is? Never mind. I'm not gonna ask. How old is the phone? Is what I'll ask instead. I'm gonna go with a few. It's funnier if it's only been a few days. You can and it's not actually funny. It's just like you just have to learn to laugh at it. Okay, so this is a fun little shape here. I'm so pleased that you can deploy the wings while it's parked. That was a huge deal to me. I was upset that you had to like I was still trying to a week. That's about yep. Sorry. Sorry. That's a stinker. Does anyone recall, does this do there has to be like an engine back here. That's just the only thing that makes sense to me. Doesn't actually have to be. I just feel like there must be something. So we're gonna throw like a just something. When you see that red, uh, the worst wings song, it looks like it would fly and head me, fly at me and headbutt me. Yes, it does look like it's one of those bug creature things. I just want to say how great it is to have people just to chat with while I'm working on this. It means so much. Even if I am not expecting this Kickstarter uh, to do a lot. I'm not trying to be like, but I'm saying this is, I haven't done a Kickstarter, uh, but having people willing to say, hey, I can at least watch you during this journey. Uh, oh, this is in the wrong. There you go. This ship looks so ridiculous. Bip bop. I'm gonna listen to that later. Is it clean? I'm gonna listen to it if it's clean. It's very hard to find clean music now. And by clean, I don't want to. I enjoyed one song and I had no idea. So I think it's if you don't know it has a curse word in it, it's different. But once you know, it's like it's now it's no longer. But it's for a brief moment you're like you wish you hadn't learned, but not real. I mean, let's be real here. Hmm. This is actually a problem. This would be 90. If you're wondering what I'm doing, it's better to have something be mirrored on the Y direction rather than the X, the X instead of the Y. I bet you won't get a copyright strike from streaming it. I think I know what you are. I think you be troll. So what we're working on here, there's this like bizarre, I have no idea what it does. And I'm really not willing to figure it out either. And it's like the shape is strange. Everything about it is just a little unusual. And I think it's like a connector between the it just has like a where's the big button and the sound for opening the value add? Oh, and go woo. I'm just here to watch John perform magic tricks and go woo. Lol. I'm very bad at sleight of hand. Like I can't even do the thumb thing right. Like I know how it's supposed to. You're like supposed to make it like that, and then you go. But I'm bad at it. Ejectable bridge. Yeah, you got it. I should. John, don't worry. I will never ever do that again. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I can't believe we're almost done with the. Gamer Growl, thank you for saying. Ooh. Thank you. You have no idea how happy that makes me for this moment. We're actually going to do a multi-resolution here. I'm going to do a simple, then subdivide. The reason why we're doing this strange thing is, I kind of want to adjust the topology here. There is a I didn't know about this until a while ago. There was a built-in like don't mess with the surface by doing GG. Like you're saying good game to somebody. Oh, there's a little poke through the triangle there. I didn't know that. There we go. Stillhet feature complete. Ooh. PG words, but physical innuendo are fair game. Innuendo is in fact an innuendo. It's easier to say than out to begin though. You know what? You're correct. That was very difficult to say. You win. I hope you're happy with yourself. Yeah, there's like this space in between this and that. Like it doesn't actually connect here for some reason. And everything that was the biggest detail that I remember is that there's like a gap to stick your hand and burn it on whatever's in there. Shergout, I know that you're making a joke, but that's a step too far for this channel. I'm going to remove that one. I hope this only removes that one message. There. I hope it doesn't ban you in any way. If it did, let me know. But that particular one, I know. I know. I am saying I understand, but no. You can do that on Second Dynasty server. And if you're mad at me, that's fine. Oh, you removed it? Thank you. I wasn't trying to make a like big deal out of it. At the same time, I was like, no. No. Uh, does this have a scale to it? No, it doesn't. The reason we're doing a sculpt is for uh, I don't remember. There's very much a reason though. Oh, we're just playing. When I'm doing quick details, I like to just use the fast thing. You mentioned it's officially a big deal now. Oh, oh dear. Am I gonna get banned from the Microsoft Discord again? We're not using this to make the real details. This is just pretend. But sculpt is a quick way. Hand burning accessory. Yes, you betcha. Maybe something like that. If anyone doesn't know, Shergal works for Microsoft. But I say that every time. What you can try to work. There'll be an important uh thing you have to replace on this. That's always like down here. There'll be something that you're supposed to swap out, and you have to go through the whole thing to get to. I do not like how this looks right now when I'm in the test mode. But we're just getting some details in. It's easier to get the details when you don't have all this stuff in the way. And we're going to redo all of this anyway. This is more like sketching. Makes you wonder how many times he gets banned from his channels. Important. Oh. Oh, I see. Wish I didn't try to say that. You guys are going to get me in trouble. The persistent thing actually has a glitch where if you do an undo, it kind of like messes with it and it no longer does. The thing that I like about persistent is you can play with the line after the fact. And I can't do that otherwise. I thought this was mirroring. Oh, it is mirroring. And this needs to be set to, there we go. There'll be a big discussion about John in the next meeting, I bet. Yep. And I really don't mean to say, I have no idea why I say the things I say when I say them. I just do. I'm sorry. What Shergal just said makes me. That's going to be in Windows 12 for sure. But the joke is some people believe Control Z is a ring buffer of past actions, but it's actually an early large language model that guesses what you didn't mean to do. That's what it feels like sometimes in Blender. Sometimes you press Control Z, what happens is not what it was before. Is a ring buffer, okay, excuse this ignorance here. This is an actual question of how does something work. Is a ring buffer kind of like a queue? No, it's like a stack, isn't it? But it's a stack with a limited space. Is that Yeah, they look like varicose veins. I don't love them. Uh, but they're just an idea of what will go there. Yeah, it's more like a limited length key. Okay. Why is it not considered a limited length stack? Why is it using oh, because a queue, when I think of queue, I think of um, first in, first out. But isn't it uh, a stack is last in, first in, last out? Because isn't that how? Or am I just applying a C sharp word when we don't? Well, on Control Z, you actually want the first in to be the last out because you want to go. It's more like stack. You go up and then back down like that. You don't want to grab that one. That one should decay after it runs out of space. It tries to squash the context. Yeah, I had to make an undo buffer system, and I just did a limit. I just did a list, and that's what I actually made it like an object that was an abstract, and then some did, and then they had to have an undo. So you sent the action, and it ended up making to where certain actions actually just do their action in the code for applying to the history, because that way I know it could be undone. But I couldn't get everything to do that in a way that made sense. I kind of like that. What do you guys think about this little putting a little indent there? It's not required. It does not change anything about the shape, I mean, about the printability. I have ideas of how I want everything to print already. Oh, there's a. What if that wasn't working? Oop, I got to the limit of this. Why is this glitching so badly? Oh, it's because it's doing something it's not meant to do. You're not meant to do, so I'm going to show you what's wrong. This is a quad posing as something else. You have this can't this line between cannot cross that point. But if as long as this line meeting this line doesn't intersect, so this line here, it's not supposed to cross that, but it does right now. And the computer hates that. You're trying to make Blender act like Maya, and it's resisting. Yeah, maybe, it would be a great name for this tiny little this ship. It should be named Gallios. That's a great name. Let's go with Gallios. Mm-hmm. So I want to thank everyone. I'm already sitting on my feet, which tells me I'm running out of time. Uh, it's such a real joy that so many people came by for this 1 hour stream. I keep saying it because I'm elated. Let's just do a one last thing, and then we're going to stop, and that's going to be we're going to add a grease pencil, and let's just sketch. Let's just have some fun and sketch. We're going to do a surface sketch, and we're going to turn on mirroring. We have to turn on temporarily the Y mirroring. This is why I don't like to use Y mirror. Why I like to rotate it first. And let's see if I can grab the pincel. Fusion 12.5. Does anyone remember there was this really I think it was called TrueScape? Not Dreamscape. I know it wasn't that. True Space? Was it True Space? If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please say the name because I cannot remember the name of it. And it's been bothering me for a while. And I remember my dad used to make tutorials on how to model things in that program. And it was no, it wasn't Inkscape. It was a 3D modeling program. And it was a predecessor. Oh, may your crystal ball shatter into pieces. I see a glass shard in your future. And I said shard as in a shard of glass. It's a very hard word for me to say. I wanted to sketch, but I have lost the pen. Oh, it's right here. Found it. I normally put the pen on the holder. I say pen because someone, when I was younger, made a big deal about pen. Pen. Pen is for needles, and pen is for writing. It wasn't Inkscape. What was it? I want to say it was True Space. I'm going to look this up before I completely forget. True Space, yes. Caligari. Caligari True Space. And that was its main thing, was it was none of those. I'm actually drawing on I'm drawing on a separate screen, but believe it or not, despite the fact I bought a Huion with a screen on it, I always set it to my top display and just leave like streaming software on the bottom because I don't like my gigantic hand blocking the view. I already said the name. It was. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. It was True Space by Caligari. My dad loved playing with it. He even made like a little 3D theme park. Like it was very basic. But he made it, and I thought that was kind of fun. Every spaceship needs angry eyes. I'm thinking like something like that. We've kind of... I need to turn on stabilization. I like using Blender because even though it's kind of like bad at everything, it's bad at everything in a way that my brain understands. Guess who bought out? Was it Microsoft? You're taking away... you're taking away the shape for a shark grin on the sides. Sorry. I'm thinking like doing something like that. In fact, man, I don't like what I'm doing here. I'm sorry, I meant that, not like streaming, I meant what I'm currently sketching has a problem. I just was like, this is bothering me. I need to make this. It needs to feel, yes, that's what I was upset about. I want to use this space, even though it makes no sense, as yeah, that feels fun. Doesn't that feel true space is the starting point for 3D builder. Shark decals make every moving vessel cooler. Same devs. That's pretty funny. When did you just found that out? If you're wondering why I find that funny, it's because Sugar is on the Second Dynasty server, and he all the time uses 3D. I think that's the program you use to make your custom parts. Aerodynamic will put a decal for a canopy and sell it. Yep. Good visibility. Yeah, I think it's cool to have like. I'm debating if I put another like bar here. I don't know how I feel about it. I think actually, I like it visually, but I'm gonna go without it. And the complete accident. It's the sun. It's the Sunray. It's the why is called that. That's the sun rising on. It's on the horizon. There's the rays of light coming out. I just got in trouble for talking about bars. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not. Well, I'm not actually sorry because I would, if you ever post that again, I will say the same thing or whatever. Let's turn on some caliber stabilization. We're going to be stopping in just a few. Wow, great work, John. I have no idea why I'm so. I think I'm just like tired, but that was a beautiful line. That's called beauty. Someone will later say, "Oh, it's an AI artifact. He uses AI." This can be like a gill. No. This needs. Yes. I don't know why this makes me so happy, but it does. What just happened? I think I accidentally hit a button. Yeah, okay, I just had a little glitch where I moved the camera. This makes me happy. This is such a fun design now to me. What, am I being ridiculous here? You tell me, am I being ridiculous? Yes? Never mind, you don't get to talk. This is a fun ship design. Well, the good news is, at Eridani, we don't use cockpits because we use the autopilot. I'm just doing this so I can tell where the space is for GridForge, because you need to fit the docking tube in between these. In fact, let's do a square. Why is it a I think this is actually more accurate to the show. Boo boo. Boo bye. Have a good day. Bye bye. Kata Sabar. King Elephant or Carnival Sue. Autopilot sold separately. Yes, you have to use autopilot and it's sold separately. We're done here. I'm just having some fun with this at this point. The question is, how does this open? does it open into itself? Because here's the thing, it needs to be able to work with, it needs to be able to dock universally. Autopilot on a subscription. Ooh, Eridani should learn from that. Joys of modern capitalism. This is a really fun looking ship now already. I know this is still the block out phase, but I'm really excited about this. This is not where I thought it would go. I did not think that it would get this far this fast. This has only been 1 hour, and we've gone from what's been 55, it's been 65 minutes, an hour. And we've gotten so much done. We've gotten mechanic ideas of how things are going to work. We've gotten the design of this thing. We've gotten this space. I mean, this just makes me feel happy. But how do you get... that's already resolved. I see a lot of non-uniform rational B-splines. What does that mean? I'm so sorry. Is that an insult? I'm going to go with you're insulting me, and I'm going to cry about it later. Forever. Nerves. Oh my goodness. Sure, I'll never change. Actually, do change. There's way better versions of you available on the update and the... So just but it fits here. This will dock to this area here, and this would let you would actually board. Where's my there'd be like a boarding area. Why are you... Oh, it's set to there'd be like a boarding area here. I accidentally used the wrong feature. I'm thinking it's your party and cry if you want to. We can. I think it's going to be a ramp. It's going to extend out into this space, but this space will be designed to where there would be like a there'll be an airlock here, an airlock door here, and then this just lowers down. So it's only designed to dock with this particular ship. And it would make a little mini room here, and it would bond to this. But this is a flat wall, which means it'll be pretty easy to make that. Just say... Yeah, we can bond it. We can make that work. You grade this on a curve. Someone messes up their luck and we lose the pantry. This is true. All the food... Wait. I just realized it is right next to the pantry. So, how it's going to work is... You need to get some groceries. You go grocery shopping in the shuttle because you don't want to carry the groceries up 3 flights. So you would, because if you come in from this bottom ramp, you go 1 deck up, 2 decks up, two flights of stairs. Well, 3 flights of stairs actually. 2, 3, 4 flights of stairs, but some of them are shorter. Why is this carrot in this hole in the wall? Yeah, the flat wall is easier to make an extendable lock. It's just going to be a flat wall. You dock to it. It's a fake. There'll be a separate piece that you could probably like swap out if you really want to. Yeah, someone gets left and right mixed up again and gets spaced. No can of green beans for you. This has been so fun to have you guys for a moment. Individuals, humans. You know where that's the boarding things. So you can board the mothership from the back, from this spot. I don't know why I'm putting my hand up to point at a screen that you can't see my hand. there's these. There's there's two airlocks here, one here and here. These are not true airlocks because they don't have independency from. I could make them be though. There is space to put an airlock here. In fact, I'll put an airlock here and an airlock there. So there is space for airlocks. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So there could be two airlocks, a third airlock up here, and then there's a fourth airlock down below. The ones on the side are not intended for when you're hovering. Therefore, Silly John, we can see. They're only for when you are in no gravity or fully landed. Because the intention is for you to spin these like this and board. You're not intended to be using them as anything. Does that make any sense, or am I being ridiculous here? Yeah, you move them out of the way. And this needs to be flattened here. But this is all very basic early stuff. I keep saying I'm going to be leaving and then I don't, so let me not be a further liar. Ciao, be well. I'm going to try to stream at this time again in the future. What's hard on the senses is the rotating engines are not in the center of gravity. Yes, that's true. I have to figure out something. I might have to move them. You can do, so you could do, I should be ending the stream, but you could totally still do a spacewalk if you needed to, even with these unlocked, because there's an airlock here, so you can then pop out the airlock and like ring across and just avoid the engines. I'm not putting them on a slider. Do they make more sense like back here though? I don't like them back there. They feel, it feels Star Trek-y. Like them being here makes sense in my brain. Them being up here feels weird too. I don't know, my brain just likes this spot. And I did debate moving the just the other side of the door. You mean here? Like still as far forward, still where you couldn't I don't like that spot, but because you would have to like do this to get them out of the way. You have to face it all the way down to get them. I'm gonna think about it. But I really do like this spot, and it's only for this scene. I want to reenact that scene. I could move the door. That's a possibility. I can move the door to the forward position and move these. What's the farthest I can go and still get what I want? They do fit. Oh man, that does work so nicely right there. Sorry, this is taking, but that puts it right where the cabin is. And then that puts the, does that mess with the dock? Wait, I can put it here and put those doors on the angle bit. The doors are on the angle bit. That still works for me. It doesn't really resolve the problem. I'm gonna think about that. I want these back to where I originally had them though before I forget. I think maybe where they are is the wrong position. I agree with you. I think they belong somewhere else on the ship. I have to figure it out. I'm gonna. There are several thoughts on that, and I think this needs some time to consider. If we move the, if you put the airlocks here, you can make this into a very mini airlock, and then and then they put a cab, but then the cabin gets smaller. You get a smaller. It's some. We need to end stream. It's been a joy. Be well. See you guys probably next Fridays when I'm streaming again. I'll try to figure out what that is and talk to you later. Ciao.